Which is odd when you think about it. Do these kids get money for their teeth? Do they sell their other parts? Oh, where are we going with this? Greetings, Ladybugs, it's me, Kairi, aka Lady Fu, and we are here playing Mushroom Musume, meaning Mushroom Daughter. This is a game where you grow your own mushroom daughter. I found this game on itch.io and I thought it was very cute, so here we are playing it. Okay, let's start. Once upon a time, there was a humble recluse. They had no need for society, however they did often find themselves with an unshakable loneliness. One day, while foraging, a wandering witch overheard the recluse's inner desires, not thoughts. The witch approached them with an offer. Do me these 3 simple things. When they are done, I will present you with your deepest desire, a child. The recluse, caught in the moment of naivety, quickly agreed. If it is a child you are looking for, here is the first thing you will do. There have been some things I've been meaning to get to. Cross one off the list for me. Not realizing they were simply saving the witch some time, the recluse determined which task they were most suited for. Restock unsettling components, organizing a surprisingly understated collection of keepsakes, or test a selection of elixirs for quality. I am not doing that, and I'm probably not doing this, so probably just keepsakes. I like organizing anyway. Why not see what a witch's most prized personal possessions look like? The recluse spent a quiet afternoon carefully unpacking and rearranging her belongings. Arriving back to their meeting point, the recluse was excited to report their progress to the witch. Ah, very good. How kind of you. After quickly wiping themselves down, the recluse returned to their hut for the remainder of the night. Second day. You completed your first task admirably. 2 more and I can finally give you what you want. Bring me a heirloom, something that your child will forever value. The recluse thought on it briefly, searching through their home for the object they had pictured. Your most used cast iron skillet, a dark weathered tome, and the sharpest knife you own. That's not gonna last. It's not gonna stay sharp forever. Also, why would you give that to a child? I wouldn't do that. I'd give them a book. The recluse had often heard that knowledge was power. Their daughter deserved that. Bringing their prize back to the witch, she simply gave a sweet smile. How perfect! After their brief detour to meet with the witch, the recluse resumed their normal day-to-day schedule. The 3rd day. With 2 assignments complete, the recluse could feel their excitement grow. One last chore and I will be done with you. Listen well. Petals are a powerful thing. They make their intentions known without a single word. Go forth and return with the flower that most speaks to you. Cattails? No. Pansies? No. Forget-me-nots? Oh, those are cute. What's that? A pumpkin? That's not a Milkweed! The bright orange herald of the butterflies. Milkweed's poisonous. That's why the butterflies are poisonous to birds, because they eat it and then they ingest like the poison that they have. Forget-me-nots are cute though. I'm in between forget-me-nots and milkweed because I like butterflies. Don't know. I'm also curious about the pumpkin. You know what? I'm just gonna save, and then we'll come back here if anything. Ignore it. Ignore the. You don't see anything. Don't see the time. Don't look at it. Anyway, I'm probably gonna choose the forget-me-nots, because those sound cute. A cerulean sea of forget-me-nots bob with the gentle breeze, fitting for a moment that they would never be forgot. You plucked one, gently storing it in your pocket. You returned to the witch's location with your bloom in hand. She silently took the flower, nodding her head to you in recognition and gesturing that you were free to go. 4th day. The recluse knew that the fated hour had arrived, time to reap the rewards for their efforts. However, They should have known that everything is for a cost. She is yours, Recluse. One final condition. Promise me one of these things, and we will be in agreement. Pay me now with wealth. Pay me now with life. I don't like that. Pay me sometime sooner in larger quantities. I don't like that either. Pay me at a much later date in the way I choose. I really don't like that. We're just gonna pay you now with wealth. They offered their coin purse to the witch, and she took it wordlessly. After pocketing the whole pouch, she returned a single coin to the recluse's hand. This will be sufficient, the witch smiles. With the matter of payment settled, she simply smiled and handed the recluse a small pot. Perhaps it does not look like much. Time. Give it lots of time, and your wish will soon come true. I suppose, though, that there is one last thing. A name. You must give your daughter a name. The recluse thought on the witch's demand for offering the final thing they had to give. What is her name? This blue color reminds me of Corpse Bride. And Corpse Bride is one of my favorite movies. And I know that the Corpse Bride name's Emily, and Emily's a pretty sweet name. I'm just gonna name her Emily. It's a cute name. Then she walked away, only fate knowing if the two should ever meet again. Chapter 2, Cultivation. Though the recluse was unsure of the specifics, they did realize that it was important to heed her instructions, care for the pot and the dirt and everything that lay within. So the recluse geared up, as any parent should, and assessed the things they needed to raise the child. Finances. In case the nearby village had goods or services that you could not provide, nutrients for the child, to help it grow strong, they would need plenty, as it would be depleted on a daily basis. And finally, the recluse's own stamina could not be ignored. One cannot burn the candle from both ends indefinitely. Thus began the longest growing season of the recluse's life. Wait, first I want to look at my daughter. She's beautiful. She's not done growing, not yet. Potted. The pot of soil sits calmly with a small mushroom contained within. Tome. You have given your daughter a tome. Someday she will know how to read it. Oh, that's nice. Harsh weather has taken a toll on your garden, and your entire harvest was lost. If you don't get the garden started again soon, you and your daughter might be tight on subsistence. Times are tough. Offer your daughter some old food. Maybe she'll like it. Not doing that. Accept the loss now. Make what you can do. Till the garden again and start over from seed. I'd do that. You lose nothing. Besides stamina, I guess. No use crying over ruined crops. You simply make adjustments to be more successful for the current season. Hardier crops, these would be good for the girl anyways. The decision being made, life continued. You realize that, buried in your new goal, you've forgotten to feed yourself or procure any human food, really. What seems like the most nutritious option? Sneak morsels away from your charge, to the woods for foraging, to the market, enticing goods. What was this mushroom for again? Looks tasty. How about no? Go foraging in the woods. You know where to find food. It's been something that you've never struggled with previously. It's part of you. Nothing can change that, not even a mushroom. Making your way to your favorite nook, you quickly find that what you were after. Of course, the generous bounty of treats for your daughter is a nice bonus. The decision being made, life continued. It's adorable! Look at it! It's so cute! One morning you awaken with a weight on your chest, and open your eyes to find a heavy mushroom sitting atop you. Aww. The creature has grown little arms and legs, and demonstrates her newfound mobility by clambering off the bed as you wake. Her demeanor seems cheerful, wandering about in an excitable and inquisitive mood. Encourage her optimism, spend time nurturing her environment, motivate her to be more practical. Encourage her optimism. Your daughter's development is going better than expected, and you want to promote her cheerful nature. You encourage her to appreciate beautiful things, bringing her to that flower-field glade you once visited. Enthralled by the wondrous sights, appreciating nature quickly becomes her favorite pastime, and she spends much of her time wandering outside. The decision being made, life continued. One evening you hear a light knocking on your door. Quite a rare occurrence. Peeking through the window, you witness none other than the Witch of the Woods standing on the doorstep of your humble hut. Could she be here for a visit or to settle a debt? I just paid the debt. What do you mean? Privately request a stipend. Introduce her to your daughter. I'm gonna introduce, because I have nothing to lose. Look at my daughter.
Good morning.
Perhaps it was time for your daughter to meet the witch. She could maybe even learn a thing or two. The two of you answer the door and invite the gloomy woman inside for the dry and awkward small talk. Something about the way the two absentmindedly stare at each other, you wonder if they've made some sort of connection today. The decision being made, life continued. What did I just gain? Tome. Mushroom creature. The mushroom has grown some extra limbs and it is a bit more ambulatory than you expected. Mystic Bond. You have developed some rapport with your creator, the Witch of the Woods. One day you awake slightly earlier than you typically do in your somewhat somnambulant state. You hear an ethereal singing that seems to originate from your garden. When you go out, you spot it. A small fairy clad in blue is sitting amongst your crops. No, don't catch the fairy. I love fairies. No, don't do that! You have a coin. I feel like a coin would be stupid. Build a small fairy garden in your daughter's room using supplies. Why in your room? Does she live outside? I'm so confused. I don't know. This image does not bode well. Or is that an apple? Like everything's shriveled and then there's an apple. I don't know. I would definitely build a fairy garden, to be honest. Without delay, you quickly gather your supplies, greenery, some common foods. Hell, throw in a drop of blood. Excuse me? Fae love that sort of thing. After consulting some books to ensure that it's appropriate space, you lure the fairy in with treats. Though they seem unsure at first, the fairy eventually seems to accept your offer of a home. Aww, you feel a sense of relief. The girl had been asking you for a pet. Finally, you have something for her. It's not a freaking pet, you crazy person. They're beautiful creatures. The decision being made, life continued. Oh, she's adorable.
Hi.
She's so cute. Underdeveloped and bland. How could you? How could you? How could you? Very familiar. You have a small magical friend that has a tendency to follow you. That's cute. Sometime later. One morning, you notice that your daughter is nowhere to be seen. After an hour of searching the nearby area, you find her walking in a nearby meadow. To your surprise, the creature had now taken the form of a young girl. You feel relieved to confirm that the witch hadn't betrayed you. At your approach, she turns and grins at you excitedly before continuing to appreciate her surroundings. Sit and watch her play. Buy her a nice gift to celebrate. Tell her it's time to go home. I'll just let her play. Your daughter seems content to do her own thing, so you decide to let her play in the meadow as long as she likes. Taking a seat near her, you appreciate the beauty of the forest and spend time thinking lovingly of your daughter. After some time, she tires of running about and brings you pretty things. You pick the exhausted girl up and the two of you return home. So cute. The decision being made, life continued. Your daughter needs food too, and you've just run out. Uh-oh. You need to find something to feed her soon, or she'll surely starve. No! Go gather substrate. The other one was like, don't do it. She'll be fine. I'm like, no. This is my daughter. I am not leaving her to starve. You spend the day foraging and digging in the woods and return with a heap of mushroom food for your hungry daughter. It's a little hard to be sure, but it seems like she's thankful for your efforts. The decision being made, life continued. The sun is starting to sink in the sky, but you haven't finished your daily errands. You only have time for one more. Finish a favor the village leaders ask of you. Purchase new construction materials for your hut. You've already worked hard enough, retire to the tavern. Prepare lunch for village's schoolhouse in exchange for discarded books. Barter some fine substrates to better grow your daughter. I just did this, so... Also, I can't buy anything. I'm poor. I'm gonna to do the favor, and hopefully this guy pays me. Doing favors for the leader is comfortable to you. It allows you flexibility while still giving you some funds. Today is no different than usual. You herd some cats for the leader, and in exchange, they pay you. How novel. Your tasks behind you, you and your daughter return home. Each do a nice bath and a simple dinner. And end. One night, you find yourself struggling to sleep. Your mind wanders as you consider your current place in life. You lived peacefully with your daughter for many moons. Initially, it was strange. Well, it never stopped being strange. But you were always thankful for the company. Besides, the affection you felt for her was like any parent would feel towards their child. That was normal, at least. Your thoughts turned to the concept of time, particularly how you were once alone and how you are afraid that you will be again someday. Your daughter has had more and more curiosities about the outside world. It is only a matter of time before she wants to strike her own path. You hope you will be fulfilled now. You hope you've done enough. Ultimately, you find comfort in what you've done. You may have had many failures in your life, but there's one thing you know you can die proud of. Excuse me, I'm dying. And a new beginning. Telling the recluse that you wanted to see more of the world wasn't an easy conversation. Oh, I guess I'm the mushroom daughter now. As they grew older, you worried about leaving them on their own. Thankfully, your concerns were unwarranted. They were happy that you had grown enough to want to move out. They even offered to help you build your own home close to theirs. You were welcome to visit any time, obviously. Faster than you would have anticipated, the two of you built your home together. They showed you all the tricks they knew and made sure to impart as much knowledge as they could find. Possibly could. Not find. Finally, the day arrived. You were officially on your own. You were scared a little, but also excited. It felt like a new chapter was just beginning for you. A loving parent. Chapter 3. A girl on her own. What does she look like now? Oops. Aw, how cute. What? Shroomy qualities. Elegant blue turkey tail. Walking through the forest one day, you take a path, yet untraveled. The road you follow is old, time-worn, rivulets, don't know, and fresh dung pock the path. A brush chokes it from either side. Regardless, the smell of adventure hangs in the air, and it smells wonderful? The wind carries a fragrance clear into your heart and stirs it with an intense curiosity. Before long, you find another, even tighter path, branching off from where you were walking, and before you break out into the glade, the area is smaller than a hut, but in the center of it, intimate raw bow? I don't know. It's in a statue long since forgotten. Examine the glade, examine the statue, leave the glade. I want to see the statue. The statue is of a wayfish girl. Craftsmanship alone is worth commending. The body twists up, standing on a single foot and leaning back, arms curled overhead. Like a ballerina pose? The figure's hair is long and twisting, draping down over her body and seemingly igniting the flames when the sunlight hits it just right. There is a pain in the statue's eyes, one of loss and grief. It seems standing there that she is almost making eye contact with you. Suddenly aware of your surroundings, you feel a slight discomfort in the air and cast your eyes away from the girl's stare. Underneath, a plaque makes up the base of the statue. Carefully scrying the words from ages aware, you can make out the name Rosemary and what appears to be a small elegy. Sisters sweet as roses Mary, shall you slumber deep unweary in your garden evermore, and should you bloom again tomorrow, spare yourself the ever sorrow, and sing again your lilting score. One of three, with her and me, of sage and time aplenty. We cry for thee, but do you see, the tears we shed are empty. Examining the statue's base, you notice a hand-scrawled message around the back. It reads, "One of three, so are we, until we meet again." You pause for a moment before turning your attention back to the glade at large. It feels as though there is a presence watching you from beyond the trees. You chalk it up to nerves. Let's examine the glade. While opening it small, there's enough room to wander around. Trees on all sides prevent you from leaving aside from the way you came, and a thick canopy prevents light from flooding in, leaving only the spare ray of illumination. There really isn't much to the glade, aside from the plants littering the forest floor, several different herbs that have been cultivated to produce sublime results. You meander through the glade, and eventually finding a plant you usually mistook for a bush. Its branches are heavy, and the primary source of the fragrance you caught on the wind. You break off a piece enamored by its aroma and store it on your person. What? Dancing around, the statue catches your eye. Leave the glade, I guess. I don't like this. Feeling as though there are eyes watching you, you gather yourself and head back towards more familiar paths. Okay, I'm able to leave. Goodness. Walking along the road into town, you spot something large lying on the path some distance away. Approaching it, you find a human laying on the ground, groaning in pain. You don't really get it, but some part of them is broken. They look up at you, uncertain but pleading. Play with them? No? I mean, I could try. What do I have? Hold on. I have woody. You possess a woody toughness and are particularly durable for a mushroom. You have an endearing animal-like appearance. Interesting. What is this? Oh, it's rosemary. I think I should help them back to town because I don't know anything about mending. So I'm gonna do that. You help the human up, offering support. No! Oh, never mind, I passed. You help the human up, offering support as the two of you limp back to the nearby village. Eventually, you find some people and triumphantly drop the human at their feet. It sounds very like just tossing them. They are clearly confused and off-put, but the human you help seems incredibly grateful. Sort of reputable. Cool. Reputation. You have been a good person. Cool. Walking around the village one day, you overhear a gaggle of fun-sized humans giggling the time away. With a bit of the old mushy panache? I don't know. You're able to hang by and eavesdrop on their conversation. You might be a mushroom, but when push comes to shove, you nevertheless make a fabulous wallflower. How much? One of the children exclaims, your jaw dropped at the sheer awe of another kid, whose chest is proudly puffed out. With a grin, the child reiterates, enough to buy 3 bags of candy. No fair, another child cries out. When I lost mine, all she brought me was enough for a hoop and a stick. The other kids looked at the child with pity. Hoop and stick so last season. Well, anyway, the boasted kid continued, I have another one loose, so I can expect even more candy here soon. That's not fair. I don't want to lose a tooth. Oh, okay, that makes sense. You're younger than me. What gives? It's probably because of all that candy, one of the kids said, getting met with only a shrug from the proud kid as he smacked on his treats. Whatever, I'm gonna go home and pull my tooth out myself. And when you see me next, I'll have 4 bags of candy. Don't do that. The girl stormed off, determined to come into some coin of her own. Which is odd when you think about it. Do these kids get money for their teeth? Do they sell their other parts? Oh, where are we going with this? You wonder briefly about the value of a kidney when you hear one of the gremlins shout, be sure to put it under your pillow. Don't do it. Aha! You realize there's a caveat. One must need a tooth and then store it under their pillow and then... Money? Last you checked, what you considered your teeth grow back after some time. This should prove to be a lucrative venture. Don't steal anyone else's, please. At length, you arrive home and find yourself less certain about this than you were in the village. And it's not like fun-sized humans are known for their honesty. You pause for a moment and think, one tooth wouldn't kill you, go for it. Do it! I want to see if the tooth fairy is real in this universe. Hopefully I can get it. Not wanting to put any more time in attempting to convince yourself otherwise, you reach up into your mouth and grab hold of what passes in your body as a tooth. What have I done? Slowly, steadily, pressure builds as you pull, and then... Yow! That hurts quite a bit. No matter what, your tooth won't come out. Your body's too tough to let it wrench free. You could always force it, but not sure that's a good idea. No, that's fine. Cut my losses. Something tells you that this is a bad idea. Perhaps it's a throbbing pain in your mouth. This doesn't seem to be worth your time anyway. Maybe you'll just have to take one of those munchkin's teeth someday for science. Don't do that. Don't. Feel a crisp breeze. The heat is relenting, trees are changing color. Fall has arrived, my favorite season. It's nice out today, so you've decided to have a picnic. After wandering around for some time, you come across a quaint house with a bell. This is a school. Just as you were wondering what purpose it serves, the bell rings and several children run out and begin to play. A small group of them take notice of and surround you. With their curiosity thoroughly piqued, you have a few ways to proceed. Invite them to join you. Don't do that. I'm not kidnapping kids. Girls in the group are enamored by your politeness and cute charms. They quickly shoo off the boys, and you have your picnic with them, all while talking of girlish things. The night sky is clear and beautiful as you sit on a stump atop a small hill looking up. Something catches your eye, and you notice the shriek of a shooting star. Quick, make a wish. I wish to grow stronger. Nope. For people in the kingdom to live peaceful lives. Wish for people in the kingdom to live peaceful lives. Wish for it to rain tomorrow. Wish to stay in good health. Wish for the star itself. Stay in good health. Or live peaceful lives. Not even really believe in your wish. Uh-oh. You eventually regret not asking for something for yourself. That night you go to bed grumpier than you were when you started. Uh-oh. You awake one night to the light of a full moon and the eerie sound of singing. As if your body wasn't your own, you find yourself leaving your home to find the source of the sounds. A group of several small winged fae are dancing and singing inside a ring of sprouted mushrooms. One of them spots you watching and motions you closer. Go forward and play with the fairies. Go back to bed. Play with the fairies. You go to approach the group of fae when your own little fairy friend catches up with you. They seem cautious at first, like they don't trust the others, but come with you despite that. You don't understand the words, but it seems like your fairy is hesitant to trust the others. The two factions seem to come to some sort of agreement, and your friend takes the lead in a lively dance. Somehow you find yourself floating. You're not sure if it's the atmosphere or some otherworldly magic, but you choose not to question it. You and your familiars spend the night dancing in the moonlight with the fairies. As the sun begins to arise, your little companion escorts you home. A chilling breeze greets you one morning, heralding the approach of winter. You want to accomplish something significant. You decide something you'll remember. Take on a dangerous quest, attend a romantic evening gala, pursue a great aspiration, decide not to pursue anything. A great aspiration would be good, or a dangerous quest, but haven't had any skills besides that I'm apparently tough. I'm gonna try and do a dangerous quest then. In your travels, you've been told of some particularly challenging quests, possible tests of your merit. Of the potential opportunities for glory you've heard, you decide to slay a terrible beast. Actually, don't do the quest. I'll try and slay a terrible beast, I don't know. You have heard rumors of a monstrous animal terrorizing a nearby community. Perhaps you may win some renown if you step up to hunt the beast. Preparations will take time, but you decide to take on the creature before the end of the year. On an expedition to a nearby swamp, you lose track of time. The sun is already set in the sky, and the trees surrounding you seem more menacing now. As you contemplate your situation, you try to figure out the best thing to do. Look for help, keep calm, hug the situation, sleep in an abandoned building, wander through the woods, or follow a random road. I'd probably keep cool and calmly evaluate the situation. There's no use getting hot-headed and making even more trouble for yourself, you sit on the grass and absentmindedly draw in the mud with a stick and you think about your situation. You make a few little diagrams and consult the nearby foliage. After doing some calculations, you deduce your approximate location. Cross-referencing that with your local landmarks, you have a plan to get home. My goodness. Thankfully, the plan goes smoothly. You rest your head on your pillow knowing your sharp reasoning is one of your greatest assets. One day while attending to some foraging business in the woods, you make a strange discovery. What else is new? You go to retrieve some fruit from a low shrub, but as you move a branch, you notice something out of the corner of your eye. A glint of metal. Metal? It could be a lost item belonging to some human, or it could be something valuable for you to keep. You go to more closely examine the item and have a realization. Before you is a perfectly sculpted copper hand. As you lean to look for any marks that could betray its origin, you realize the hand is connected to a body. The thing before you is unbelievable. It's as if someone had taken a person and plated them with copper. You wonder if this is the case for a second, but with a sense of horror, you see it move. The being stands up. Surely plated copper could not move with such fluidity. You hear a sound as if it was speaking. Okay, I guess it's a robot. You are unsure of what to say. The thing seems confused at your confusion for a moment before snapping her fingers in thought. She stretches one arm up and touches the back of her head and then cheerfully speaks. Sorry, I totally forgot to address my translator. Can you understand me now? You find yourself shocked for a moment at the chipper disposition of whatever this thing is. While your response is slightly delayed by shock, you confirm to her that you technically understand what she is saying. This information brings her joy, which results in a hop and explanation of the phrase, "Woo!" Her excitement is contagious when she clamps her hands in yours. You can't help but jump with joy with her. Being this close to her, you get a chance to examine this being more closely. Once you look beyond her glistening coat, you can see her physical characteristics more clearly. She is petite, thinly stocked, and standing just slightly shorter than you, with similarly numbered and proportioned limbs. Though her face is human-like in nature, it is not precise. Spotting differences in human faces was occasionally challenging to you. But something about hers felt a little off. Maybe an eye too many? And do humans ever normally have those little antennae? You are quickly snapped out of your thoughts as the being asks you a question. So, are you a member of the dominant species on this planet? I love a tour guide. If you wanted to show me what people do for fun around here. It's an alien? You consider her request for a second. What do people do for fun? Well, you suppose you have a couple ideas. This is probably like a bad choice. They might take me somewhere to space. I don't know. Show her the village, probably. A tour of what humans like to do? Wait a second, you know exactly what humans like to do. They like to live in a little village with other humans. You tell the girl that you are not a member of the dominant species, but you can show her where they hang out. Without wasting any time, the two of you begin to walk to town. Your quest frequently interrupts your journey, stopping to marvel at some footprints left in the mud or interrogating you about the function of a pine cone. Thankfully, she's always happy to hear your perspective on these things as well. Your evidently vast knowledge about this area amuses and entertains her curiosity. I'm starting to have trouble speaking! Of course, when the two of you actually arrive in town, her excitement only grows. There's people, after all, so many of them. The two of you end up near the market, a wide open area with tons of interesting human stuff like food and even clothing. While browsing, something seems to catch her eye. She picks up a copper-plated door knocker, large and ornate, and carefully caresses it. Wow, this is just like me, huh? She compares the glisten of the knocker to her own skin, tilting it in different ways to see in different light conditions. The salesperson, despite clearly being unsure about the two of you, initially knows a customer when he sees one. It compliments you perfectly. I've never seen such a clear match before. Is she gonna make it a bracelet? That's so funny. Your copper companion looks at you with a pleading expression. I want this. If she wants it, you'll buy it for her. Purchase it with a 5-finger discount? What does that mean? Buy it. I'm terrified. What's gonna happen? The merchant raises a consenting eyebrow at you. He scolds you. The price is not free, simpleton. If you would like this fine copper knocker, then hand me 3 coins. Do I not have 3 coins? How petty these humans could be over something silly like currency. It is a simple door knocker. There is no reason for them to hoard it so tightly. Thankfully, you have your own method to get around such snooty situations. You point your finger beyond the man's shoulder. You point your finger beyond the man's shoulder and exclaiming that there's a dragon approaching in the distance. He simply squints his eye at you and is like, I wasn't born yesterday. Well darn, you suppose there goes your plan. You grimace, you inform your friend that you cannot get her the knocker. You explain to her that humans place great value on minerals like copper, which raises complicated feelings with her. Oh man, I really wanted it though. Are you sure? She turns to the merchant who growls at her in displeasure. Oh well, at least that means I must look super expensive to all these people. She gives up, and the two of you leave the stall. You and the copper woman spend a while longer in the market, but her realization that you cannot participate in commerce seems to put a damper on her enjoyment. Before long, she raises her arms in a yawn. Well, thank you for showing me around town. I think I'm going to go do some independent research on these two-legged species. See you later. You wave her goodbye as she skips off into the distance. It's a shame you couldn't get her a gift, but at least you didn't waste any money on overpriced rocks. A man wearing vibrant multicolored robes and a large pack approaches your home. He has heard rumors of a beautiful fungal woman and has come to paint you. He asks if you will give him the honor of being the first to put your beauty on the canvas. Convince the artist to teach you instead. I like that. Accept the artist's request and allow him to paint you. Refuse, you are not as so vain as to want art made of you. I want to do show me how to paint. He's caught off guard by your request, but happily agrees. The two of you sit together for the most of the day while he teaches you a few things. After you have started to get a feel for it, the colorful artist packs up and heads out, gifting you with some paints, brushes, and small bits of parchment. Nice. Today, in the dead of winter, all things in the forest lie still. Even so, you are on a hunt. You have heard rumors of a terrible beast that haunts these woods throughout the winter. When all else is quiet, it turns its appetite to the nearby villagers. So you have taken it upon yourself to hunt the beast, perhaps winning renown among those who spend the winter months in fear. Approaching the section of the forest the creature had been sighted most recently, you carefully consider your options. Search for signs of the beast. Call out, making your presence known. Are you insane? Search for signs of the beast. No! Man, the snow is fresh and loose. You wander around looking for animal tracks, but they're so indistinct that you soon are unable to tell which ones are your own. The beast almost certainly been through this area, but you garner very little useful information for your hunt. The mycelium on the back of your neck stands up, registering the sound of a low growl. Before you can even notice it, the beast is here, now. The beast approaches you brazenly, a haggard wolf, eyes burning with ravenous hunger. Standing nearly as tall as you, its iron thews show prominently under its little frame and an aging gray pelt. Its
I cannot speak.
Its tremendously proportioned head and glinting white teeth tell you just how effective at killing this creature would be, and a blood-stained maw gives you no doubt. This is the monster the villagers speak of, a terrible man-eating beast. You tighten your grip on your trusty knife, steeling your nerves. Hesitation here may spell death. Wait for the wolf to act first, or charge at the beast. I feel like waiting is best. You wait calmly for the wolf to act, focusing your attention on its every movement. The beast makes no sign of advancing until, just as the beast appeared to be readying a leap, you brandish your blade to counter, but fall flat on your face. A shearing pain shoots through your leg. You were dragged to the snow-covered ground by an unseen attacker. You crane your neck to see a second, darker patterned wolf, teeth buried in your leg, shaking its head viciously. You kick hard, with your free legs square between its eyes, then roll narrowly, avoiding the beast as it joins the attack. Two great wolves now circle the frozen clearing, teeth bared and salivating menacingly. Abscond? Die? Push one into the bushes. Attempt to slay them both. Sure, why not? The village won't be safe until both wolves are dead. You cannot allow either one the chance to escape. The wolves, though, dance around you effortlessly, their wide circling quickly enclosing in around you. exploiting your every mistake. You swing your blade wildly, but the beasts know human weapons too well. Within minutes, you are exhausted and haven't so much as nicked them. Finally, having eagerly awaited this moment, the wolves descend, teeth and claws tearing at your legs as you are overwhelmed by the pair of carnivores. Desperately, you kick them, though you already lost your strength in their limbs. They continue to maul you unabated. Your body lies there motionless and cold. Hours have passed, and the wolves have long since ceased their attack. Blinking people, you sit up, huge gashes are torn out of your legs, arms, and chest, and bits of yourself have been scattered all over the clearing. But you are alive. The realization seems to lighten up in your just barely conscious mind. You're alive. Thank goodness you aren't made of meat. Uh-oh. As you grow older, you look back at your life. You think back to the witch who created you. You can't help but wonder if everything met her expectations. You wonder if you were the daughter your parents have hoped for. Ending. After all this time. You have grown up. Cool. Well, that's the end of Musume with Musume. I hope you guys enjoyed. I enjoyed it, and I'll probably play this again either in my free time, or I can play this for you guys again. It depends on what you guys want, but I hope you ladybugs enjoyed. Bye-bye, ladybugs!